After 6 years of development, the Geometry Dash 2.2 update is now closer than ever, with it releasing October of this year. Now, after the 2.2 drops, all we know is that the 2.3 will be very community-driven, with people suggesting their features and quality of life improvements to add inside the game. Therefore, in this video I thought of sharing my ideas on what could be improved. But watch until the end, because I'll go even further than just 2.3. Okay, we can confidently say that Geometry Dash gameplay is pretty straightforward. It consists in literally clicking a button. But hear me out. New players that first come into the game not knowing anything about the different game modes might find difficult and frustrating figuring out how they work. Especially because a lot of them don't use the practice mode, and that could lead to rage quit and bad impressions. One problem of the main tutorial though is that it's a little hard to be found in the settings, so I thought of a cool feature. In the level selection menu, we could add a button next to the stats in order for the player to see right away what the new jump pad, portal or game mode is all about. A cool way of looking at how Geometry Dash evolved over time. Daily missions are cool and all, but once you get used to them, they quickly become boring and repetitive. So other than adding more daily missions, I would suggest adding harder and longer term weekly missions, like complete 5 daily levels, beat a demon, or rate a total number of levels difficulty. Looking at a player's stats, it's really cool to see how many demons they've completed. It shows all the skill and dedication put inside the game. However, I always felt like just showing the number of demons beaten wasn't enough, so I thought of an extra. Next to the user's name, there could be placed the icon face of the hardest demon level beaten by a player. This way, someone who's just beaten a level above its skill cap will be even more satisfied to see its accomplishment recognized. We could also add a plus next to the demon count to further see how many demons of each difficulty have been beaten by a player. In the end, a user would have the possibility to decide whether or not it wants to show this test to the community with a simple setting. Now, predicting what could be coming after 2.3 seems like something impossible, but as strange as it may be, we're not completely out of hints. In fact, in different occasions on the Geometry Dash Discord server, Robtop is said to be unsatisfied with the current state of the level editor and claims that it will need some very big changes down the line. Adding to that, let's take a moment to think about how many triggers, objects and functionalities 2.2 will have to offer. So much so that imagining a full update focused on reorganizing the editor is no longer a crazy thing to do. For this reason, I want to bring up some small adjustments that in my opinion would make the editor more accessible for both beginners and advanced creators. The first thing I would change about the editor is the blocks organization, if we can call it that way. Different categories of objects have blocks inside of them that just feel out of place, and should be rather put in other boxes or even have a unique one. Take the portal section for example. Inside of it there are not only the portals to change game mode or gravity, but all these monsters and decorations that would better fit in another category. But what's worse is that the H, J and D blocks are completely unlinked from the dash orbs, making it even harder to figure out how they work. Recalling the previous point, another way of efficiently revising the editor is by giving block categories an actual name next to their respective icon, in order for creators to quickly find what have been moved away from an old category. Almost every historical level we remember in Geometry Dash has been built by a group of creators who decided to unite and collaborate with each other. Even today, collab levels are extremely common to find, but the sharing system creators have to use in order to keep up with each other's work is far from efficient. Basically, after you finish building your section of a level, you upload that unfinished part to the server, adding a password in order for others to copy it. Your friend then has to search the level you uploaded, load it inside their editor, and finally continue from where you left off. For a big amount of creators working on the same project, they have to keep doing this back and forth until the level is completed. And with how big the game and the community got over time, I'm surprised there's still no clue about a new sharing system that would immensely reduce time and effort. My list of new features ends here. I wanted to make this video because most of the points I made were all about improving what's old inside the game, rather than adding new things to it. And in a buggy game like Geometry Dash, doing this is essential in order to not worsen the player's experience later on. At the time I will be releasing this, Chop and Chew is going to be really close, so I wish to every one of you a happy October and thanks for watching.